My name is Tony Garrison, and I found Excite OSA because of being at work. My work is actually involved with sleep apnea, and one of the sales and marketing rep for Excite OSA was coming to our lab, telling us about it. I became interested because in my journey, I've gotten to the point where I'm looking for something else possibly to help me for my sleep apnea. And with this opportunity with Excite OSA, I thought it might be a good time to try this. And so I contacted her and began the journey. So my initial thoughts on the therapy, I wasn't real sure what to think, to be honest, before I began on it. And then when I started, it was very different to think that this can be done during the day. This can be done anytime during the day. I don't have to use this at night. I don't have to do these things. And so that was very intriguing and different, interesting, but good, very good. I have gotten to the point now on my treatment that I have very much enjoyed not having to sleep with anything at night. So it's been very wonderful to do that and getting good sleep. Using the Excite OSA therapy, it could not be easier. Absolutely could not. Opening up the box and seeing the small mouthpiece that goes around the tongue, and then the small device that plugs into it that actually generates everything that's going to happen for it. It's just one plug-in. There's nothing else that needs to be done. You download the app to your smart device, open up the app and go through a couple of quick steps. And each time you do the therapy, you go through these steps of connecting to the device and initiating that. It gives you a countdown so you're ready for it, and allows you to set your own therapy to what level you need. You start out at a lower level, you increase to a higher level, and really increase it on your comfort. I honestly went out pretty quickly and wanted to give the therapy, let's go, let's move, let's get this thing going. And so I was a go-getter, I guess, in that regard. But it's very, very simple, very, very easy to use. Literally takes maybe 5 minutes. You download the app, connect everything, get the device in your mouth, and you're rolling. It could not be more simple. Each session lasts for 20 minutes. And so it's a good time for you to catch up on social media. If you play games on your phone, if you want to watch the television, read a book, however you want to spend that 20 minutes, you're sitting around anytime, day or night, right before you go to bed. If you want to do it then, if you want to do it in the morning, in the afternoon, does not matter, 20 minutes of your day. And the initial sessions will be done for 6 weeks, and one day each of those 6 weeks for 42 sessions. After that, 2 or 3 times a week. So you're wearing this device, you're using Excite OSA for really only about an hour and a half during the week. And an hour and a half versus using other forms of therapy for as long as you have to, and stumbling with them and fumbling with them, the trade-off is amazing. And the results are amazing as well. What it feels like when you put Excite OSA in your mouth and get it connected, it's got little shocks to your tongue. It relates the tongue, and I can feel that. And now that I've been on the therapy for a while, I know how to anticipate what's coming next, where it starts off with slow impulses and then it gradually builds a little bit. Halfway through the therapy, it gets a little bit more intense, and then it slows back down toward the end of the therapy. And so now I know what to expect, and now I know where we are in that 20-minute session. But it's been great. It's super easy. It doesn't hurt. It's a different sensation of having a little bit of shock to your tongue there with the therapy, and it's working. So prior to my Excite OSA therapy, I was on CPAP. I've been diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea for just over 8 years now. And prior to Excite OSA, I was faithful on my CPAP machine, wearing that mask and using it every night, trying to control everything, and it works. Recently, though, over the last probably 8 months, I've begun to struggle with the mask and with the tubing, and I wasn't sleeping well. Contacted my own sleep physician, and she said, "Would you be interested in alternate forms of therapy?" And yes, I would, because I would like to be without a mask. I'd like to be without that too, because it was causing issues for me personally. I was waking up numerous times during the night and not getting a good full night's sleep, even though I knew intellectually, because I'd been on it before, because this is what I do for a living. I knew it was working for me. I knew it was getting me good quality sleep, but the struggle was real, as they say. Wearing the mask, using the tubing, just fighting with that. And so with Excite OSA, and again, being in the industry, I knew that what I needed to do was use Excite OSA and my CPAP for a little while together. And that way I could gradually come off of the CPAP machine, which I did. 2 weeks before the end of my initial therapy, I stopped using CPAP machine and then just went on Excite OSA. And I am proud and happy to say for the last month and a half, my CPAP has been packed in a bag and it's been in my closet, and I've been using Excite OSA for the last 6 weeks, solely, only, and exclusively. And my wife has not complained of any snoring. Strangely enough, over the last couple of weeks, I have remembered some dreams. That's not happened recently. So I'm very happy with the results of what's going on with my Excite OSA therapy versus this CPAP. It is an alternate therapy. There's many of them out there, and this is one of them that I'm a firm believer in personally. So when I was first diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea just over 8 years ago, my apnea index was just over 13 per hour of sleep. And the doctor put me on CPAP. So fast forward a few years, and a year and a half ago, my wife and I got a little bit more serious about our health. And so we began to eat differently. We changed our diet. We began to exercise. And both of us began to lose some weight and we started getting in better shape and things like that. And here comes Excite OSA. A little while after that, hey, let's try Excite OSA. And so when I did, I went through the initial session, again, the 42 sessions, and then I get on my maintenance. I dropped CPAP machine and I did a home study. My initial index was just over 13. And when I did my home study, my index was 2.5. So my apnea is very well controlled with Excite OSA therapy and what I'm maintaining and what I'm doing now. And I'm thrilled to be able to tell that story to people and let them know there's success out there, and you can choose one of these other forms of alternate therapy to help you with these problems. I think what I would say to somebody if just conversation came up about obstructive sleep apnea, how to get better sleep and this and that, is I would actually tell them, I've been a registered sleep technician for a number of years. I've been in sleep medicine for almost 20 years or 21 years this summer. And so I've been around the block a couple of times in that regard. So what I would tell them absolutely is you need to seek a physician. You need to talk to your doctor. Let's get you some help, because help is out there. You don't have to snore. You don't have to be waking up miserable. You don't have to wake up every hour, on the hour, every 30 minutes. You don't have to do these things. Something can be done to help you. And many different forms out there, CPAP, BiPAP, all that is kind of the gold standard, has been for many, many years for people. That's the initial go-to for all physicians, and that's all right. But there's people out there who can't tolerate that. There's people who can't handle it, don't want to handle it. We come across many, many, many of those people who just do not want this. Well, we have alternate forms, and I'm thrilled that Excite OSA is out there to be one of those alternate forms, because again, as far as I know, it's the only therapy that exists during the day. And you can do this literally any time during your day, 2 or 3 times a week, and you're done. You do not have to use it any longer than 20 minutes per spot and per session. And it's amazing to be able to do that and have that ease, have that, because that's one thing on a lot of people's minds is, if I have obstructive sleep apnea, what do I have to do? Do I have to dedicate my whole life to this or that, using this, using that? hours and hours? Do I have to go through surgeries and all this? No, you don't. There's other forms out there, and there's alternate therapies. And again, excited that Excite OSA is one of them to be able to use and help with obstructive sleep apnea. And that's where I am. I mean, we've been on the journey for the last year and a half, and ups and downs a couple times, but my wife's told, I don't know how many people, she said he's in the best shape of his life. I don't know. I mean, she's like, I've never seen him like this. This year will be 13 years that we've been married. And she said, I've never seen him like this. So, we've gotten serious about that aspect of it. And now that Excite's coming in, I'm happy with this. I love it. I'm thrilled. In fact, I need to do a session today because I missed mine last night. I went to bed earlier than I thought. And so I'm going to throw a session in this afternoon sometime, but in 20 minutes. But at any rate, yeah, that's where we are. That's where I am. That's the story.